So here is the Hammond collection Dilophosaurus. It looks pretty cool. They got everything right, but almost right. Because, for example, they are missing the white pattern color at the edge of the stripes. And of course, they should have painted black stripes all the way to the tip of the tail, including the head and neck. And not only that, the beige coloration, they sort of ended onto the stomach, where in truth, they should have continued it all the way to the tip of the tail. But hey, it is what it is. So let's start with articulation. The head doesn't have a lot of articulation, except it can go like, I don't know, like 360. But yeah, it goes a little bit 360. Looks kind of cute when he's looking at you like this. Huh? What are you? Are you? Yeah, for real? Of course, yes, I know some of you are going to ask me what about this red mark on his mouth. I'm pretty sure it's blood. It looks kind of scary with his mouth open. Head design looks pretty cool. Kind of cool. I wish this was a little bit reddish on the eye. This one looks a little bit dark purple, I believe. The eyes look cool though. The teeth. Doesn't have a lot of articulation up and down. As I mentioned, the neck can go down, up and down, and a little 360. Just keep your mouth closed. The arms and the wrist, again, they have more articulated joints. I'm so surprised that they didn't apply joints on the wrist. But again, it would be kind of difficult to mess with them because otherwise you might break them. Of course, they painted the claws and the toes as well. Looks pretty cool, has a lot of articulation. My biggest issue are the big feet. Why they had to give my poor Dilo big feet? I mean, they could have just shrink it a little bit, like right here. Like a little bit right here, where my thumb is. But hey, probably because they're worried that if they make it too small, a little bit shorter, they might fall. Like this is what they should have done. They should have done the claws a little bit right here. But hey, like I said it before, it is what it is. Also has a rubber tail, and it also has a metal bar inside. How can I tell? Because these little holes, metal bars, these tiny little bars on each side of the corner. You're not gonna see it on this side, but if you turn them over this side, it's very noticeable. It's very noticeable if you take a real close up on this side. Back looks cool. And of course the tail moves. It has a bendy wire. Word of advice, keep the bendy wire the way it is, because if you try and mess around with it, you could accidentally break the wire inside the gum. And of course, Mattel isn't the only one that has done a metal wire. Kenner also did it, which is the Dilophosaurus set. Not only from the tail, but also the head as well. But they can be easily broken if you mess around with the wire. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. I wish they painted a little coloration on the crest. But hey, that's all they gave us. Moving on to his accessory is this hooded accessory that goes from the neck. I'm not going to bother putting it because it's going to be a hard time to put it back because it's time consuming of putting it back in and put it back out. So I'm just going to leave it the way it is. But yeah, it's got these beige and orange, reddish, I believe. I think it has a number in it too. Let me see if I can see it. It's a number. I think it's number 2. Yeah, I think it's number 2. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, I think it's number 2. So moving on to its final accessory, the frill. I love the frill. Looks exactly like in the film, which is great. I actually put this thing all the time, but it's also a time consuming and put it back in, put it back on. But for those of you that want to see what they look like, if you want to see it on, it's right here on the screen, which I'm just going to show it to you right now. You got the frill and you got the closed frilled. And of course the base version of it too. Now the reason why I chose to leave it like this is because for those of you that had read the novel of Jurassic Park, these guys never had the frill. They're like this, except they're about 12 feet tall. They're a lot bigger than the film version, which I actually kind of liked it. The book, I gotta say, is much scary because the color patterns are resemble to a leopard, but these ones, they look like jungle predators to me. But yeah, I gotta say, but other than that, I'm just gonna give the Hammond collection, Dilophosaurus, probably around a 4.5 out of 5 for a great design. Lacks a little bit of the other details. As a matter of fact, a YouTuber by the name of I don't know. I can't remember the name, but he actually did a video of what he would have done if he was developing the Dilophosaurus, or in fact, if he was in charge of the Hammond collection, he would have given us like movie accurate Jurassic Park figures. But hey, this is what Mattel did, and this is what we got. But for those of you that also have issues with the underbelly coloration, I'm pretty sure some of you are going to continue adding the color pattern all the way to the tip of the tail. I've seen videos that people put the extra beige color underbelly all the way to the tip of the tail. I've seen videos like that, and I gotta say that's actually pretty good for them. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my Dilophosaurus review, and I see you all later.